You're awesome.
Thank you so much for having me. Today, I'm just going to do a live walkthrough. I don't have an actual slide deck presentation for you guys, but I have a live walkthrough today of, we've been talking about it, building your audience and your sphere online. But we're really going to focus on the big three on this. So we're going to start with Facebook, then we're going to go on to Instagram, and then we're going to go on to LinkedIn, and just tips and tricks, best practices, and little ways to consistently build your sphere and your audience. And this can be based off of your current friends, or just, you know, your current friend audience on your Facebook profile, for instance, and then just going from there. But we'll go in and we'll do a screen share and talk about it. And I'm just going to make sure, can everybody see this Zoom screen? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, I see it.
You see that? That just popped up?
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Okay, thank you. Haven't seen someone's name like that. Okay, so anyways, we're on Facebook, and how many here, just little raise of hands, or you can do the emoji or something to show me if I've done an audit with you, if we've met before. Just, I wanted to kind of see. Raise of hand, anybody? I just want to make sure that I'm not repeating myself on this too. Okay, cool. Well, I wanted to go in. What was that?
I just said I see some emojis. I didn't know if you saw them.
I'm seeing a couple, so that's good. That's good. Okay, but what I really wanted to go over today is let's just start with going on to your business page. So, and you guys are welcome to, if you have another screen, you're welcome to go onto your business page screen and kind of walk through this with me if you'd like. But I'd really like to just kind of go through. But the first thing that I always kind of recommend is to go into your friends here. So the second that you go into your friends on Facebook, this is your actual Facebook profile. So this isn't your business page yet, but that's okay. I still wanted to show you guys this because there's suggestions here that this column, you might have some suggested friends. And my recommendation is, if you have like 20 mutual friends, you probably, since we live in a small world, you probably have somebody that knows that person, and that you should probably most likely add them. And but you know, 4 friends, I probably wouldn't do. I wouldn't add that. But I just wanted to show you that you can look at all of your friends. You can also respond to your friend requests here. They've made this bar pretty easy, and you can also create custom lists based off of like your VIP client lists, your, you know, close friends, things like that. And they do have a custom list even for your restricted friends, but I wouldn't worry about anything like that. So that's to start. I just wanted to show you that's kind of like that little nav bar area for that. The next spot that we're going to go to is just right below it, which is the pages area. And you guys will see that I'm hooked up to all of the pages that I manage. You're going to only see your one page on there. But if you scroll down, you will see invites on the very bottom here, bottom left.
Hey, Shanna, we had a couple of hands raised.
Yeah. Do we still have the hands raised?
Yes, Michael and Debbie.
Do you guys have questions?
No, that was for the have we met together before.
Okay. Oh, sorry.
You're fine. You're fine. I just wanted to make sure. Now that I do see your guys' hands raised. I'm sorry. If you guys have a question though, just feel free to unmute, jump right in, just because I don't always see those hands raised.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are we on the business Facebook page now?
Yeah, so now we are going, so if we're on Facebook right here, so this is my personal page.
Yes.
Personal profile, and then yours will be down here if you have a business page. Okay. I'm using Remax Equity Group just to show you guys, but you're going to have your, you know, Susan Golden, your business page on there if you have one. But okay, we would click into this, and actually, wait, where did I go on that? Sorry. We're going to go back to this pages area, and you're going to click on this invites. And the invites area is not these are not invites sent to just your business page. This is invites sent just overarching. Right now I have no pending invites, but you might have some. And you might have some from me. You probably have some from me, just because I am constantly sending out invites just to keep everybody in the loop and in the know. So go in and respond to these. And you have the option, there's a little 3-dot ellipses next to the invite. You can, if you do not know the person, you can politely decline. They do not see it. But you definitely want to be able to go in, and you might have several invites from, oftentimes, I mean, I've seen 500 plus invites in some people's inboxes and things, and it's the first place that you'd want to go in and respond. And you can also go into your liked pages. Your liked pages is a great place to, you can see that I like and follow 375 pages as Shannon Day, as my personal self, right? Now, I always get the question of, how do I go in and like all of these things as my business page? How do I connect those dots, right? So that's where you would go in, and let's say I really like this, the garden center or the garden corner. I can go in here, go into this 3-dot ellipses. I'm going to like it as my business page. So I can go in and I'm going to select my page, and let's say I'm going to just like it from Suburban Southwest, and I will submit. And now the garden corner just got notified that Remax Equity Group Suburban Southwest has liked their business page. So that way they see that, they get notified, the odds of them liking you back and following your business page are way higher. Hang on, I'm gonna look in the chat box really quick. I see a couple different chats. Oh, that's you. Perfect. I was like, wait a minute. Alrighty, so that's the start of that. You can also press discover, and you can go through all of these suggested for you pages. And the suggested for yous, yeah, I mean, there's going to be a little bit of everything. And I always get the question, should I go in and like and follow other real estate agents? I get that question all the time. That is your personal choice for your, your current business strategy for your page. But I would definitely recommend, live in a small world, I would like their business page. You have way more of a likelihood of getting a follow back and things like that. Maria, do you have your hand raised?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
If somebody likes my business page, is there a way to unlike them to get them off from following? Let's say a competitor, someone I don't like, whatever. Somebody likes my page. Can I have control over that?
Yeah, so, and we'll go into that too, but let me go back over here really quick. So let's go into Remax Equity Group and scroll down, and if this would be your business page on here, but if we were to scroll down on this page and click on, we're going to go to settings, and then we are going to scroll down to people and other pages, which is right here. And you're going to click on that. And that's how you can see people who have liked your page most recently. And I'm going to move our bar a little bit, but you can see the date exactly of when they liked it. Those are people. You can see pages that have also liked. So the business pages aspect, but you can also, you can just go into this and you should be able to just click on where the invite is, and you can just say, have them not follow you as an option.
Thank you.
Does that help, Maria?
Yes, thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so, but this is this tool right here is fantastic. So immediately, as soon as somebody likes your business page, Oregon Realtors, for instance, I'd click on that, go straight into there, and you can immediately see that I'm already following them, but I can click on this 3-dot ellipses here, and I can invite other people to follow it, but I can also go into the actual, they have a little bit of a different setup in terms of who can follow their page, but you can go in and like it as your business page, and you will be able to do that. And it's just, But for each page, I'd go in and do that. And this is not just for these types of pages of just things that you like on Facebook, but this is also for vendors, contractors, local coffee shops that you guys go to, places that you frequently service and go to. Really, it's this kind of push and pull between, like, it's the follow for follow technique, right? You have to put your name out there and follow somebody for somebody to follow you back. And that's just kind of the world that we live in, unfortunately, and especially with all the noise online. It's really just one of those components. But I wanted to also show you guys that there's also groups, and you can get your name out there by posting in groups as well and being a part of groups. So here's some groups that I've joined. So I'm going to click on this one, Real Estate Mastermind. This is a private group. That's okay. You would just have to, I could either invite you, or you could request to join that group. And anytime that you join a group, it's always great to do a post on there and introduce yourself to the group. And just by doing that, just by saying, hey, my name's Shannon Day, I'm new to the real estate world, or I've been in the industry for 25 years, whatever you need to say, and just put your business page on there. And you could get, I would say, at least 5 new potential people on your page, at least 5, given the fact that this has, this has over 200,000, almost 200,000 members. So I'd say you definitely get more than 5 views on your page just based off of that. And those, just more connections. And I would definitely include, if you're in Oregon, if you're a dual licensed broker, if you also are in Washington, that type of thing, I'd put that on there as well, just because that opens the door to 2 different connections in that way. Let's see, what was something else that I wanted to go over? So one thing that I go over in the actual audits is when you are on your business page, the first way to, invite friends to your business page is just by clicking this 3-dot ellipses and just inviting friends. And it's going to bump you to it's going to show you all of your current friends from your personal page or profile that you have not invited yet. It's also going to show you who you have invited. So I've invited 344 of my friends, and it will show you that you've invited them and if they've responded or not on here, which is also very useful, because then you can see how, who has already gotten onto your page in that way. But I would go in, and this is number one thing to do, right? One thing to take away for today, I would start by inviting your current friends lists, because you already have those in your sphere, right? So start with these. It gives you the option of selecting all, and it checks all those boxes. It won't allow you to send all invites at once. It's really annoying. And that's just something that Facebook has limited. Instagram and LinkedIn have limited the amount of invites that you can send per day as well. So right now the limit is between 150 and 200 invites per day. So oftentimes in an audit, I will tell you guys aim to send 20 new invites per platform per week. That's something that's kind of how I end up phrasing it, because if you send, 100 per day, that's obviously daunting. Don't do that. But the whole point is, you want to naturally build and grow your audience in your sphere. You don't want to have this be 10,000 followers overnight, because then you're not going to have that trust and credibility that you really need as a real estate agent, right? So just do that natural, gradual growth, and you want to try to match your page growth, your audience growth per platform. So just how we're doing this here, if you have 1,000 plus followers or however many people, so right now we've got 1,327 followers on this page. We want that same number, that's our goal, to be on our LinkedIn as well as our Instagram. We really want those audience sizes to be aligned on each. You don't want to have your Instagram only have 4 likes and 4 followers. It's not going to match up.
Excuse me, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What's the difference between a like and a follower?
Yeah, so a follow is the people that follow this page, they get notified first and they get the notifications and everything on their news feed. They get this page gets priority on their news feed. If you like it, that's okay, you just like it, but you don't, it doesn't change the algorithm at all in terms of what you're seeing.
Good question. I was wondering the same. And I have a question as long as we're
Yeah.
interrupted. I like to keep my private life and personal life, I mean, my professional life very separate. And I like to just maintain professionalism with my clients, but yet I want them on my professional page. Every now and then a client tries to friend me on my personal page and they're not someone I really want to. I guess my rule of thumb is if they're not friends in real life, they're not on my Facebook page. However, the business page is for anybody. So I do have a few that I reluctantly accepted, but I feel weird when I post recipes and hiking pictures and it looks like I never work. So is there a way to, I guess, target them before that happens? Or I don't know, how do I address that?
So I always say when somebody sends you a friend request, that's actually a good thing because now you have them in your bank as a friend, which is like the best thing ever, because then you have access to send them all of these invites, you know. So now you all you would do is go in and, for instance, we can go up to this 3-dot ellipses one more time. We can invite our friends. Let's say I want to invite Aaron. I can send the invite, but what you would do is you could send this invite in Messenger, and you can write a message out and just say, hey, Aaron, you know, or whoever, thank you for following or liking my, or sending me a friend request on my personal page. I just wanted to let you know, this is just my personal stuff. So you might see, you know, not very much real estate related things, but if you hop over to my business page, tag your business page, you can, you know, follow me to learn more there about all of my real estate, you know, endeavors and things like that.
Okay. And then I suppose I could jump ahead of that and just go to my business page and send the invites, but instead of them being in my personal page, I would have to search them by name on Facebook or.
Yeah, you would search them by name, and same with like a local, like, you know, a contractor or something like that. You would actually just have to search them by name.
Okay. Great.
And then you would go into that 3-dot ellipses. The little 3-dot ellipses is hidden on every page and every post, but it's kind of like the epicenter of where everything kind of is in terms of that button.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah. And when in doubt, you know, just engage with somebody and send them a message, let them know, you know, or better yet, post on your personal page as well as your business page, just letting people know that you have your business page. Sometimes they don't know, you know, sometimes they just see your name, you know, it's easy just to type in the name, you come up as yourself, right? But, you know, just showcasing, posting, just saying, hey, I've got a business page. I think that's also really important too. And let's see, I was going to go over, and we could really go into like the nitty gritty here and go into insights and talk about, one thing about audiences is I'm going to go down to this area of just going to our people. Hang on. So when we look at our audience, women right now are 63%, men are 35% in our audience. So just know that women are always going to skew higher on your social accounts. And if you have a professional Instagram account, which I recommend it's set up that way, a professional business account, you're going to have access to these audience numbers too. And it's going to be different because your data, the algorithms are different on each platform. But what you want to do, and along the same lines of when you want to, you're trying to align your audience, when you're trying to align your audience on your business page, you want to look at these because let's say this, you know, this 25 to 34 range is something that we want to build up because they're the incoming market. You know, they are the people that we want to, you know, just incoming people that we want to target. So maybe you want to try to, your goal might be, I'm going to try to aim to send some invites to people that look around the age of 25 to 34, maybe Gen Z's, millennials. And I'm going to try to send out 10 invites to males to try to bump up my audience size in that way. And all of a sudden you're going to see that your numbers might start to even out. The whole goal is for these to be relatively even, right? So then you have a full diversified audience, no matter what age, what gender, anything like that. But you can also go through and see more about your audience as well, what city they're in, languages that spoken, things like that. But that's the start on that. I'm going to go on to, sorry, I've got a couple different things to go over.
Hey, Shannon.
So, yes.
With the new laws and all that on cookies on the computers, is that going to change what you just showed us at all?
It shouldn't.
Okay.
The only thing that is changing is this Insights tab that we're always used to just jumping into and kind of going through. This is going to probably change. See at the top where it says introducing your new Insights tool, that, and I will click into this, it will bump us over to Business Suite. Business Suite's definitely becoming, yeah, just it's really popular. But of course we can go right here, look at audience, and then we can see our audience from here in a different way too. Lots of different graphs and charts, but I don't want to confuse you guys with that, because for me, the Insights tab that's already here, it works just great. You don't have to jump. You don't have to jump through, but it will end up. It will end up most likely going on to this this Business Suite area.
And then
Dave, for those,
yeah.
Excuse me, for Kyle, but what are you talking about the new cookies rules?
So, Shannon, do you know much about it? I know very little.
Yeah, they're doing more tracking like with depending on what site you're on. That's really all that I know about it. I haven't heard like, Kyle, did you hear something about them doing like a bigger blast on it, or?
No, from everything I've been hearing and reading is that there's certainly a lot more going on right now to keep information more private. And so that's why you'll see a lot of times if you go to a new website, you're seeing to allow cookies or not, Apple's trying to clamp down on how much privacy is getting out there as well. And it's just a situation where I think a lot of the data that we're so used to getting on the back end passively, I don't think is going to be there as much as it has in the past. That's the way I'm reading it. So we're getting some of it. Roy has found an article that he put in the chat box. Thank you, Roy. John, next week, you can do a summary on this.
Well, I was going to ask, can you block that with a VPN?
I don't think so.
The
Okay.
VPN, I think might show that you're from a different place, depending on how you do it. My VPN, I can pick the United States or I can pick a different country.
I'm from Louisiana.
There we go. So you're the one hacking into my Netflix.
Darn it.
So the other question I had too, really quickly, Shannon, while you're on this, and you
Yes.
spent some time talking about inviting people to your business page. 5 years ago, a lot of people were doing the raffles and the points and the presents and all that to like pages because they were getting more people on there.
Like the contests and stuff.
Yeah, contests is that still something that you would recommend doing, or
do not do that?
Okay.
Do not do that. Yeah. And when I say follow for follow, all of those like old school things, don't say that. And any of your call to actions, like if you have in your text down here that you have with your post, don't say follow for follow, or anything that's kind of spammy like that. It is seen as that nowadays, and it's not recommended. It will de-engage your audience and your sphere from they will not like your post.
Thank you.
If you put anything like that. But yeah, and then in terms of Facebook, this whole area here, really just this groups, people, pages, all of those components are really important in terms of building your sphere. So, and you'll see if you go to, and you can actually view these, you can go to more. This is my likes. You can just go right up and you can see all of my likes. And let's say Street of Dreams, you know, we really like this right now. This is a trending thing. We can go in, and this is where that message button is. If you want to actually message Street of Dreams, introduce yourself, there's that 3-dot ellipses that we were talking about. That's when you would go in and just like it as your page. You can also go into follow settings if you would like to get their notifications, you know, or their updates first or their posts first on your newsfeed, that you can manage those as well there. But I would definitely, and this is how these likes are organized, you know, from your everything from movies, TV shows, which those are not as important for you to like and follow. It's more about the people and your community, restaurants, and things of that nature. If, you know, wherever you get your haircut, you should be following those people. Wherever you get your local coffee, like I said, you should grab that. Any local wineries, you should definitely go in. I didn't mean to click on that, sorry. You should definitely go in and like those people. And that's when, this is also, you know, I've liked all of these as myself. This is also a great way to go into that 3-dot ellipses and just like it as your business page from there, instead of going in to type in and have to search everything and go in by hand one by one. And you don't even have to click into the actual page tile to invite your friends or to like it as your business page. Is that helpful? Perfect. I'm going to hop on Instagram now, because this is the other component, right, of Facebook is Instagram. So going in here, I like to use desktop for Instagram, even though, you know, a lot of people could argue that they don't like that. But I like it because it just pops up the suggestions for you right here. So you can just say see all, and it just gives you all of these options, and it shows you 3+, how many people you have in the same, you know, your mutual friends in that same audience. But, you know, I would go through, and you never know. You also might find another, you know, some marketing things that you might want to follow. You might find other vendors and contractors and services and things like that. But I would go through these, and this is why it's like send 20+ invites per week, right? Because this is kind of tedious. This is not the super fun stuff about social media in terms of sending invites.
Shannon, how did you get to that page?
Yeah, it's just right here. So you're on Instagram on your desktop, and it's just this suggestions for you, see all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and you'll have that on your phone too. I just find it easier when I'm already on my computer just to press a couple. All you have to do is just press follow. And you can even go into something like somebody's profile. So for instance, you can go into We Are Remax Equity Group, and you can steal some of our followers by going in and looking at all of our followers and just pressing these buttons and following. And I don't want to say it like steal, but I mean, instead of having you go into the search bar and having to search all of your, you know, potential sphere and people that you might know as your mutual friends and things, you can just go in that way. Yes.
I was wondering, so when you're following people, is it important to engage with them when you're pressing follow? Like, I know it used to be where you would go into the account and you would like a few photos or comment and then follow. Like, does that matter, or is it fine? Is it just as strong as just pressing follow and moving on?
I think pressing follow, especially when like within 24 hours of them following your account, because you know that they're more likely to be on your page in that time frame. But definitely, I think, I'm sorry, can you repeat that last portion of what you were saying?
Yeah, is it important as well to engage with them? Like the suggestions for you, like just clicking follow, is it important to go on their profile and engage a little bit as well as pressing follow, or is it okay just to press follow and move on to the next
Well, I mean,
person?
before I press follow, I do look at their profile first. I do make sure that they're a legitimate account, right? You don't want to go in and be like, okay, they have nothing on their page. They don't even have a profile picture, you know, or something like that. But I would, it's tough, you know, because I would recommend going in and liking a few pictures, you know, just on even just these, the front two, you know, or the top two, just going in and liking them. And, you know, again, like it's that likelihood that they're going to go into your page and do the same for you. Right. It's kind of like that, the like for like technique. And, but yeah, I wouldn't worry about messaging or anything like that, just because that's a lot, and not a lot of people will respond. So bare minimum, you could go in and like, but it's not required. Definitely
Okay.
not.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, that was a good question though. But yeah, so that's like the two things. So going into other page audiences, which you can totally do. And some people might have other recommendations, but just know that if you do it on desktop and you click through and you just press all of these, like follow, 20 of your clicks or so, it will log you out of Instagram. Because it will think you're a robo. So just because it's not normal, it's not a normal way to just go in and follow. Technically, like that's a little bit more of a back end trick that I do in terms of building audience that way. But yeah, you can also create lists on Instagram as well. I wouldn't really worry about that as much yet. That's a very like new component and element. I would mainly just focus on building your audience in your sphere. And then in this search bar, you also have the option of, when you type in, for instance, just Remax, I'll do Remax Hustle. You have the option of going in and following hashtags, which I definitely recommend to do that to build your audience too. So right now, just on Instagram, over 500,000 people are talking about Remax Hustle. That's huge. You know, maybe you want to follow that hashtag, and that's why you want to start putting hashtags also on your posts, so that will increase your visibility of being seen too. Because then anybody talking about Remax Hustle, they'll go into that Remax Hustle hashtag and your post could pop up, and then you could get 10, 15 new followers just from that. Right, Kyle?
Yep. And that's what's, well, you know, we talked February maybe for just a half an hour. And part of that was watching how I hashtag, and hashtagging even just Remax got me more people following my page, which then made me follow their page. Right. So it certainly works.
Yeah, and you know, also, you know, social media is a two-way street. You would never, like, if your client or somebody in your sphere is trying to reach out to you, or that, you know, email you, call you, message you, same goes with social. Don't leave them hanging, right? You want to be able to respond within 24 hours, and they're going to be more like, the more that you respond, the more personable and visible and like out front you are online, the more that they're just going to be on your page. They're going to stay on your page. But you'll see, like, if you go through, like, the second, for instance, like Michael's on this call today. Hi, Michael. But, you know, for instance, the second that he followed, I went in and followed back. Like, just things like that. It's like best practices for social, for sure. But I would definitely go through these two areas, followers and following, on other people's pages. And then you can also, like, let's say, I'm going to use you, Kyle, as an example. Because, for instance, he's following 489. You guys see when this pops up, right? This screen, additional screen.
Yes.
That's when I can scroll down. And of course, we have a ton of similar friends. So there's not a lot of people that I can click on, but I can look at what hashtags he's following. And there are some hashtags that I'm not following. So I could definitely go in and do a couple of those. But that's just an example of that. And that should be what you see too when you pop up, whether you're on desktop or mobile also. So let's see. And then, yeah, the search bar, of course, like I said, that's going to be the ticket there. Instagram, yeah, mobile might have one other component in terms of the suggestions for you when you're scrolling through, and that is in mid scroll. it might be like in the middle of a post. It might have a suggested for you column. While you're scrolling, it's going to prompt you to start following more people and build your audience in mid scroll. So just know that that could be there too. And that's another good way. And that one might be more relevant than these ones actually, because it is in the actual scroll. Now I'm going to go jumping over to LinkedIn. Does anybody have any questions on Instagram? Instagram's a little bit different. There's not a ton of different ways to send invites. You can send an invite through a text message. I'm going to go on my mobile device really quick and see if I can show you guys from here. No, there's a 3-dot ellipses that does have an invite button, but it's going to be changing, I think. So I'm not going to go over that. I'm going to go into LinkedIn. Does anybody have any other questions? Okay. All right, so now we are on good old LinkedIn here. The best button on this entire area is going to be your My Network button. And this is at the top of the nav bar. And you can always press this show more so you can actually manage your network and see everything on here. But this is huge, this area. So you're going to see a lot of similarities to Facebook and Instagram, because LinkedIn is definitely taking on a lot of those similarities in terms of that. So like people you follow, groups, and pages. So that kind of goes along with everything that we've been talking about. But just when you clicked on this My Network button, you can actually scroll down. So first thing, you want to go through your invites. Go through any invites that people have sent you. This is super important that you at least respond to them. Even if you decline, that's okay. But definitely go through those, because that shows up first. You can also look at online events on LinkedIn. This is same for Facebook, but you can see, you can connect with people that you may know from Remax Equity Group. You know, your LinkedIn this is the place where you really want to connect with everyone and anyone, essentially, for your LinkedIn. Anybody that it could build upon your profession, because this is your professional network. This is your resume. This is your ongoing, work history. So you want to connect with people that you worked at with Remax Equity Group, people that you might have gone to college with. It shows that. And it also shows, we have 22 mutual connections, just like the other ones. It shows exactly how many people we might know, but we want to go through. Here's people that have similar roles as me, which is pretty cool. I might want to connect with them based off of that. I might want to connect with people just in the Portland, Oregon metro area. That's there too. And also just real estate industry. Maybe I want to connect with people just based off of that. You can even go through, and this is very popular right now, this local businesses and Black voices, like in Black owned businesses are huge. So those are going to be on here as well. And if we scroll through, you can also see people you follow. The people that I follow also follow these pages. You might, be interested in that. So go through some of these. Even apps have like Instagram, Facebook, Airbnb, like all of these things, they even have their own Facebook, like everybody has their own Facebook page, everybody has an Instagram and a LinkedIn. It's kind of the thing for everybody now. So it's really important to go through and really follow everybody. If you are a huge Amazon person, follow Amazon, like Amazon, they're not going anywhere, right? So go through these things, and anytime that you can also just highlight others, and that's just in your post, like if you can give a shout out to a local service or local vendor that you frequent, that's good too, in terms of building your audience. And yeah, but for my network, you can also have hashtags on here. Here's my hashtags for LinkedIn. But you can see the amount of followers given each hashtag. But you definitely want to have some of these on here. This is also what funnels, kind of aggregates all the noise on the platform and really funnels it down to, hones it into what you're interested in seeing and viewing. and kind of funnels the conversation a little bit more for you, which is really good for your page, obviously, if you're if you're just focused on real estate things for your business page, which is the point, right? So yeah, I would go through that. Anytime that you can follow inspirational or like public figures or influencers, that's a great opportunity too, because their job is to highlight and shout out others and follow other people's accounts. So if that is their job, right? So if they have a label, for instance, I'm gonna go back to Instagram really quick. We're gonna type in good old Jared James here, and his account, it doesn't say it anymore. It used to say public figure. Interesting. Let's try Adam Contos. Wow. Typically, you'll have a real estate agent right below this, or it will say public figure or creator or something of that matter. Anytime that it's like a public figure or a creator, you should definitely follow them, just because, again, they live online. So that's kind of their job, is just posting things and gaining that online presence and visibility. And if you can get onto that wave with them and get into their audience, you again have more chance of being seen. So we're looking good. And then with Instagram, this desktop mode, I don't know if I've mentioned this a couple of times in a couple of other sessions, but you can now post from desktop too with this plus mark. That they've never allowed that in the past. So that was a huge change that I found was it really helped with my productivity with posting and things. So just the option of being able to post at different places is nice. But yeah, we're gonna go back to LinkedIn. Sorry about that. A little bit of a tangent. And let's see. Also, I wanted to make note that with aligning your audience sizes, you won't actually be able to see it won't show you, once you hit 500 plus connections, it will just say 500 plus. It won't give you like 1,344, follows or something like that, or likes. It won't show that on here. And that's just a feature that LinkedIn has, but you can go into your My Network and your connections, and it will show you the exact number right there. So like, even if it is 500 plus displayed on your page, it will show you the exact amount. And you can go in this way too, and you can search with filters, just looking up Remax Equity Group, like people that work at Remax. You can actually search just based off of specific things, right? But yeah, and this is how you would remove the connection here. If you did have a friend on LinkedIn that you no longer wanted to be connected with, you would just, lightly remove that. But that's how I would do this on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's definitely, LinkedIn is huge. And remember, your LinkedIn is one of the first things that pops up when somebody Googles you. So when somebody searches you on Google, your LinkedIn's it's gonna come up before your Facebook and your Instagram. And that is because it's your professional network. So I would start with your Facebook business page, your LinkedIn, and then I would do your Instagram last in terms of building your page audience. And I say Facebook just because Facebook's easier, because you already have that sphere that's already in your current friends list. But I would start with that. And this is a weekly, coming from a social media person, this is something that I do weekly. I have allotted time now on my calendar just for sending out invites. It's extremely, extremely important, because otherwise your page, it can get stale and stagnant, and you don't want, to have only 100 followers, for instance. And also, if you only have 100 followers or 100 likes, that is the amount that you need in order to get insights on your business page. So you have to have 100 plus in order to get all of those insights, and they're free. But that's what we had talked about today. You won't be able to get it if you only have, 30 different likes or something like that. But does anybody have any questions for me? There's also a feature on here that's relatively new too in this My Network, which is you can see right here, you can sync your contacts on LinkedIn, and this is something that's important to do too. Like you can go on and do that if you'd like, but especially for you guys with customers and your Sphere's phone numbers, things like that, it would automatically link you guys essentially. It would just bring up a full list of suggested people from your contact list, and then you could connect them that way.
So Shannon, what I'm hearing from today, number one, everybody that's on here, look at your calendar and find time that you're going to be able to put in your calendar to do this and do it regularly, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you guys aren't managing multiple pages like I am. So I'm really trying, like with Remax, I'm trying to build audiences per page. You guys only have to focus on, your Facebook business page, your LinkedIn, and your Instagram. But really, yeah, you would want to put some time aside to do this, because you want people to stay on your page and you want people to be engaged with you and keep coming back to your page. And by regularly sending out invites, it also just keeps you top of mind. And, that's really important with the competition and the noisy, crazy world we live in today. So, but that's definitely what I would start with invites and building your sphere. And if you ever have any questions, and if we haven't done an audit, we go over this a little bit. I won't go over it that much in depth, obviously, like we did today. But the audit, we definitely go over a few of these things, but not to the point of, building out hashtags and things like that too.
Can I say something about the link to this site? But it was not functioning. I had to actually go through the vault to get to it. So there was maybe it's my laptop. I don't know, but I was not able to click straight in off of our agenda page, Roy. That's obviously not your fault, because we got it from Kyle.
So it's really weird. Dana was having issues with it yesterday. The link works. I'm not sure if it's per PC or per user. I sent her the straight link, and all of a sudden it started to work off of the agenda as well. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a PC thing, but it works fine on my end. I've clicked it several times.
I like better blaming Kyle. Just shut up.
Sure. That works.
Thank
Thanks.
you anyway. Hey, I got here.
There we go.
Perfect.
Yeah, so I highly recommend everybody take a moment within even an hour of this meeting and write down a couple action items that you're going to do in the next 48 hours, one of which is time blocking this. Most of you should already have prospecting time blocked anyway, and this can be part of that because it is lead generation. It's keeping in front of people. And then I think the big thing is just trying to figure out, okay, how can you grow your audience and have a game plan? Reach out to Shannon. She just put her email in the chat box, shannond@equitygroupteam.com. She can certainly help you. I, even just in a half an hour earlier this year, made a huge help on mine. So imagine what she could do in a full hour doing an audit and all that with you too. So, at the end of the day, you have to have your destination in sight, which is to grow your audience. You just need a roadmap to get there. So utilize our resources.
Another perk of us doing an audit is I get to actually obviously sit with you, and we can really hone in on what your goals are for your audience in terms of what you're really truly looking to build out, and we can look at it in a different way. But if we're friends, if you and I are personal friends on Facebook, it's easier for me to send you invites for things. And
John, sorry.
Hi, John. Sorry.
Yeah, I whenever we talk about social media with my group in the office, I make it real clear that they understand, and I'm sure they're tired of hearing it, that I wasn't paying much attention to this until I found out last year that 40% of our business came off of social media. Now, that is why we were doing this, because a lot of things we get caught in the weeds. I'm listening to Shannon and I'm going, well, I got to do this stuff. Well, why? So the why is, like you said, to be relevant to your people, because that's what's going to keep you in front of them. And Lord, when 40%, that was like a klaxon bell going off in my head, because I always thought it was, it's what the kids are doing. Yeah, not so much. Anyway, thank you, Shannon. I appreciate. Thank you, Kyle, for tolerating all this stuff with me. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
All right. Last time, any questions for Shannon today? Stump Shannon.
Yeah, stump me. Any social media questions? Come on. Nothing? It can be
Square
totally.
root of 58.
Stop.
Notice
Don't
how
know that off the
quickly
top of my head. I'm
notice
so
how
sorry.
quickly I've muted John today. Oh,
Right?
there we go.
Quickly mute him. Right. But yeah, so
Oh,
anyways,
and,
like I said. What was
Sorry,
that?
I just don't, and I found out that a lot of my followers usually have something to do with lace and drinking and women in scantily clothes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other thing, right? Like you can go in and look at the person's profile before you have all these people follow. I've gotten a couple of, I mean, I don't know about your audience, John. I'd have to look at that a little bit more, but you know, I know that we've had a couple of you know, just there's always going to be random requests, you're going to get random followers. You're going to have also bunk accounts that don't have profile pictures, that don't have a full profile. Just know that that is normal. If they don't have an active profile, don't friend them. Don't be friends with them, because they're most likely spam, a hacker, and they're going to cause havoc on your page in some type of way. And that's just me being honest. So just when in doubt, just don't add them. It's much better if, and I mean, I really don't like adding people that don't have a profile picture as it is, because you really don't know if that's even, I mean, even now, I'm sure you guys have experienced, like I've been getting a lot of friend requests from friends that I already have been friends with for years, obviously, but it's just hackers. They just decide to copy this, you know, picture and just start up a new page for, you know, Kyle Bach, and all of a sudden that could happen too. But I've been dealing with a lot of hacking as of late. And I put a post on the My Equity app, but just make sure that your passwords are not the same for every account. It's so important. That is like, I mean, that's the first thing that a hacker is going to do on social is if they can get into your Instagram or your Facebook, they're going to try that password on everything else. And if it works for everything else, they're going to have a heyday. They're going to have that is like the easiest thing for them. Yeah, but there's like things like password managers and stuff like LastPass and a bunch of more credible components that you can use. But yeah, be really careful with that, because hacking has been on the rise in the last, I'd say like 2 months specifically. It's been really bad.
Yeah.
So.
Well, again, thank you.
Thank you, Shannon. And thank you all for being here. Again, if you need anything, holler. Shannon can certainly help you out. And other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, guys. See you later.
Bye. Thank you.